sounds like an amazing plan to buy a second home you can use to get out of the cold, and then when you're not using it, you can rent it out and make a little money, right? It certainly can be a fantastic life plan. However, there are some things you need to know. Yo, I'm Adrienne, longtime Florida realtor, and I'm here to help you get your Florida life. Last week I covered the basics about buying your first second home. Today we're going to look at making some money off of that home. Here are my top 6 things you need to remember when shopping for a second home you plan on renting out. Number 1, in order to make money off your home, you need tenants. You need someone to pay you to use that property while you're not there. Now, you've been a renter before. You don't destroy things and make a mess. Doesn't everyone behave like you? No, they don't. I've been in all kinds of rental properties in my life and seen it all. You will get good tenants and you will get bad tenants. You need to be mentally and financially prepared for this. Yes, you can and should ask for a deposit, but at some point you may need to decide if going after the renter for repairs will get you anywhere, especially if you're looking for good online ratings. In general, if you rent out the property when you're not there, you are likely to come home to some surprises. If you're planning on leaving some stuff in that home that you don't want touched, an owner's closet with a solid lock is a must. Number 2, renters and you like the same weather. I mentioned this last week. You want that second home to get away from the winter weather. Well, that's when it's most marketable to rent out. One solution to this is to divide the time. Maybe you rent it out for January and February and use it in March or April, or vice versa. No, you won't make as much money this way, but you will cover some costs. It's one way to get the best of both worlds. Number 3, you likely need a good property manager. The realtor who you bought the property from is likely not a good property manager. Property management and real estate sales are both full-time jobs. They are not the same job. I don't do property management, but I can recommend somebody local in Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. You should be able to ask your realtor to recommend somebody. You can do it yourself, but it is very difficult to manage from afar. Number 4, when you are calculating the income you're going to make, you could expect to pay more in insurance and mortgage rates. I recommend anyone with tenants getting landlord insurance. Also, when you see mortgage rates on the news, generally they are quoted for primary residence. Second homes and investment properties receive higher rates. You may also want to set up an LLC to put the property in for liability reasons. You talk to an attorney for more advice there. I am not an attorney. Number 5, ask your realtor about any condo or HOA rules before you buy. Now, they should volunteer this information if they know you're going to rent it out, but you should know there's a lot of rules in place in condos and HOAs about how many times per year, how long of a rental you can do all at once. For instance, here in Punta Gorda, a lot of the condos have minimum lease periods. That means you can only rent it out to maybe for a minimum of 3 months. So weekly rentals aren't going to happen. This can really affect you if you're planning on using it and renting it out. You may not like these minimum lease periods when you're looking to rent it out. However, when you're staying there for a couple of months and you don't have a revolving door going on next door to you, you may see the benefit in them. Also, I find the complexes stay a little bit cleaner and neater that way. Number 6, finally, and most importantly, be ready to change your strategy and work with an agent who has many strategies up her sleeve. Here's an example. The other day I was showing property to a nice couple who didn't know the area well. They wanted to do what you want to do, stay down here a couple of months and rent it out otherwise as much as possible. They were looking in the 500 range. I took them to a community that does not allow owners to rent out for the first 2 years that they own, but the average price point in that community is $400K, $100,000 less than they were looking at otherwise. Seasonal rentals are lucrative, but you're not going to make $100,000 in 2 years, so that's still a good idea for them, and they were excited to see it. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please email me, text me, call me. My information is below. Next week, I'll be doing a market update. Please subscribe so you don't miss out.